Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 12 News at 1. I am Yemi Dalemo. Far-reaching and decisive measures are being considered by the federal government towards controlling and containing all criminal activities undermining national security and stability. Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the National Security Council. He said when finalized, terrorists, bandits and other criminal gangs will be incapacitated from executing their nefarious activities. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the report.
The National Security Council meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari reviewed all aspects of the nation's security situation. Apart from the recent attack on the Kuje Medium Custodial Facility in the FCT, the criminal gangs have also not relented in attacking soft targets in parts of the country, abducting people and demanding ransom payment.
We had extensive discussions on every aspect of issues concerning security and insecurity in Nigeria. It shows the concern and the commitment of the federal government to the security of the Nigerian people.
Consequently, far-reaching resolutions were developed for consideration arising from the issues critically analyzed. These include the possibility of restricting the use and distribution of motorcycles as the most logistical means being deployed by terrorists, as well as the suspension of mining activities as possible sources of terrorist financing.
The major consideration and the basis for determination of productivity or otherwise is the national interest.
In the meantime, the Interior Minister, Rauf Aregbesola, confirmed that interim report in respect of the ongoing investigation of the attack on Kuje Custodial Center has been forwarded to President Muhammadu Buhari.
We identify all those whose action or inaction led to that unfortunate incident.
The National Security Council meeting was the second in 2 weeks and fourth in the year 2022. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission is leveraging on wider reach of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, to commence nationwide advocacy on ending electricity theft and vandalism of power infrastructure in the country. The two federal agencies signed a memorandum of understanding where NOA will lead advocacy to electricity consumers across the country on the need to take responsibility and protect power infrastructure. Also, as part of the collaboration is for NOA to enlighten electricity consumers on interventions of the federal government as well as regulatory framework to improve power supply and stabilize the industry. A more inclusive regulatory climate or social change policy governance has been suggested as a solution to the negative effect of social media causing conflict, heightening insecurity and spreading falsehood in Nigeria. This was the fallout of the 4th anniversary lecture of the pen-pushing media delivered by Dr. Chichi Anialogu in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Speaking on the topic social media regulation, insecurity and election accountability in Nigeria, the guest lecturer, Regional Director for West Africa, Ford Foundation, Dr. Chichi Aniogolu says social media make the world a truly global village, providing opportunity for millions of people, especially youths, to form online community as well as serve as the vehicle for the advancement of human rights, among other advantages. She however suggested that apart from the positive aspect of the social media, its handlers also use it to spread falsehood, destabilize the government, promote polarization, heighten insecurity, cause conflict, among other negative effects. Dr. Aniagolu Okoye says striking the balance and adopting a co-regulation system are the best way to address the misuse of the social media.
A co-regulatory model will include tripartite government coordination, industry, CSOs, and academics in defining and coordinating the delicate balance. In the face of heightened insecurity in the country, there is no doubt that some rules to guide social media are necessary.
Stakeholders, including the first PRO, Onumuyiwa Adijobi, say the lecture is apt.
There is need for us to regulate it, and like what the lecturer said, co-regulation is key. It should not be one-sided. It's not to be seen as if we're actually trying to cage the media. No. Everybody has a role to play. The government to make policies on how to control and monitor the use of social media.
Can control but not regulate. So by and large, I think it's a major developments that we're very, very happy about.
Founder of Pen Pushing, an online media platform, Dimeji Kayode Adedeji, says the lecture is part of solution journalism aimed at addressing critical challenges facing the nation.
We talk about insecurity, we talk about election, and we talk about social media regulation. These are many things that is affecting the society, and we are looking at what can we do to learn lessons.
In Abeokuta, Pen Pushing. So I quite appreciate that.
Good messages from eminent Nigerians, including the 14th Emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi, presentation of Award of Excellence to distinguished personalities, as well as cutting of the anniversary cake, rounded off the program. In Abeokuta, Yemi. To education stories, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, heads of tertiary education institutions and other stakeholders in the education sector in the country have announced the minimum cutoff mark for admissions in the 2022-2023 academic sessions. Olayinka Ojo reports.
In 2021, tertiary institutions in Nigeria were unable to conduct the 2021 admissions within the time frame due to constraints occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic. The industrial action by ASU is also affecting some of the processes, including the 2021 academic calendar. Now, in this auditorium are policymakers in the admission process from tertiary institutions across the country, and the decision to take here will determine the fate of more than 1 million candidates who sat for the 2022 UTME.
Anybody who says, I want to admit 180, should we take it? Or should we say no, the minimum should go up to 140 or 150?
And after thorough debate by all stakeholders, a minimum national cutoff mark for admissions into universities in Nigeria was pegged at 140, for polytechnics 120, while that of colleges of education is 100. Minister of Education Adamu Adamu urged all institutions to adhere strictly to all admission regulations using the Central Admission Processing System or face sanctions, as there will no longer be room for illegal admissions anymore.
I must reiterate my stance that no violator will go unpunished, even after he or she must have completed their tenure of office.
At the end of the policy meeting, the stakeholders agreed that the 31st of December 2022 is the closing date for admissions for the 2022-2023 academic session for all tertiary institutions in the country. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
It is less than 20 days to the end of the stipulated time frame by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for continuous voter registration. The race against the time is already prompting the Commission for persons with disabilities to collaborate with INEC and other stakeholders to scale up inclusive participation for persons with disabilities. Van Chaji Guayin reports.
At least 1 million. Thank you very much.
Conversation in this room is centered on disability inclusion in the electoral process. The target for the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities is to scale the number of registered persons with disabilities from 75,000 to 1 million. A task the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, INEC, and Inclusive Friends Association are in partnership to achieve in the next couple of days.
For us to see that the number of persons with disabilities who truly own their permanent voters card participate fully in the electoral system where they can be able to exercise their civil rights.
And it's your own power. So we want to use this forum to call on persons with disability to come out en masse to register in this continued voter registration.
Exercise is happening within the FCT, but we have put a special call to the reg in other states, in the 36, within the 36 states, to also follow suit, to prioritize the remaining few days and call on persons with disabilities.
The 6 area councils of the FCT will be the target area for the voter registration, with registration units at Wuse Zone 5, Kuje, Kudu, Buari, and Gwagwalada. In Abuja.
Ogun and Lagos state governments have signed a memorandum of understanding on 31-kilometer red line rail project. The 31-kilometer red line passenger rail service from Oyingbo, Lagos state to Agbado in Ogun state will commence in the first quarter of 2023. Disclosing this during the signing of the memorandum of understanding MOU on the rail project between Ogun and Lagos state, Secretary to the Ogun state government, Tokunbo Talabi, noted that the project is another significant achievement in the series of developments engendered by the Lagos and Ogun Joint Commission. He added that the development was another achievement from the robust understanding and synergy between the governors of Lagos and Ogun states in taking advantage of their proximity to better their economies and lives of their citizens. Speaking after the signing of the MOU, the Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State, Dr. Frederick Oladende, explained that the Red Line Rail project is 31 km. The first phase of the 25 km stretch from Oyingbo to Agbado, already being constructed, will be completed by the end of 2022, while passengers operations will commence first quarter of 2023. Also, the Ogun State Commissioner for Transportation, Engineer Gbenga Dairo, hinted that the Ogun government intends to launch on the initiative to extend train services beyond Agbado to other parts of the state, such as Ijoko, Kajola, among others. Dairo said the two states are already taking advantage of the significant investments of the federal government through the Nigerian Railway Corporation along the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail line infrastructure to ensure transportation is effective and efficient to serve the economic needs of Lagos and Ogun as the commercial nerve and industrial hub of the nation, respectively. And that's how much time we permit us to serve you on the news at 1. Join us 7 p.m. for more and comprehensive news. Good afternoon.